Let's check our windshield wiper fluid. What do you say? Today's public awareness announcement is on how to add wiper fluid to your vehicle. I know. Everyone knows how to do this, right? Well, I was visiting with some friends, younger generation, recently, and I asked the question, who knows how to change their wiper fluid? And several of them just said, well, I just go to Jiffy Lube. I mean, after all, it's free refills, right? So here's a quick primer. But first, what kind of fluid do you need? For much of the country and much of the year, you can simply just use that most common wiper fluid in any auto or even grocery store. You know, the blue stuff. A quick PSA though, for those who still have little ones around, keep this stuff away from them. It's got some pretty poisonous stuff in it, and some kids think it looks like those blue juice boxes they get during snack time. Now, if you're in the middle of winter, it might be better to fill up with some more extreme de-icer fluid, usually a bit thicker, often different colors like orange. And of course, if you live in a place like Florida during love bug season, you might want to use the wiper fluid that contains a bug remover. Just saying. Now, this is going to be as basic as I can get it. First, pop the hood, the front hood. It usually is a lever inside the driver's side door, and you'll usually see a little icon that looks like that hood. Pull the lever and you should hear a pop from the front of the car and see the hood pop up just a slight bit. If you hear something from the back of the car, then you've opened the back trunk instead. So look for another lever and pull it. Then, of course, remember to close the trunk. Now, go to the front of the vehicle and lift slightly on the hood. It won't come up all the way because it's got a little safety latch that keeps it secure. Just in case someone pulls that lever accidentally when you're driving down the road at 75 miles an hour and that hood goes popping up all over the place. While lifting slightly on the hood, slide your hand between the car and the hood, and you should feel a little spring-loaded side-to-side lever. Usually you'll find it around the front or the center of the hood, and usually you can move it slightly left or right to unlatch it. Now, pull the hood up the rest of the way. Some vehicle hoods stay up on their own, and some will require you to use the kickstand and put it into place in order to hold the hood up. At this point, you might want some gloves, towel, something to keep your hands cleaner. As you can imagine, there's a lot of surfaces in here that can be pretty nasty. As to where the wiper fluid container is, well, that's different on many brands of vehicles, but they're most often toward the front of the vehicle on either side. Pop open the cap of the fluid container. Some will come with a long dipstick, but many won't. Unfortunately, the main way to know that you're out of fluid is when none comes out when you attempt to use it to clean your windows. Open the bottle with the new wiper fluid. You'll find a protective foil that you have to break with a key or something. If you don't have a key, you can use just about anything with a semi-sharp surface, even like a rock. Well, these containers can often hold about a gallon of fluid, so fill her up with what you got. Start slowly to make sure that the fluid gets into the container. Also, try not to spill much. It won't hurt anything if you do, but it makes a mess over time. Maybe you can use a funnel if you need to. It also doesn't matter too much if you mix the different types of fluids. One caveat though, if you want the true value of the special types of fluids you're using, then you might want to wait until the container is closer to empty before you fill it with the new stuff. Put the cap back on and close the hood. But do we need to slam the hood? Not really. Just let it down easy. And then give it a quick, sharp push to lock it into place. Special bonus, in really freezing temperatures, or ice storms, you might want to actually have a little de-icing fluid specially made for you that includes a little bit more alcohol content. Alcohol generally doesn't freeze. So mix 2 parts isopropyl alcohol and 1 part water into a small spray or a squirt bottle. I did a little test here with a small piece of ice just to see what would happen. And as you can see, the ice starts melting right away. Leave this little guy in your safety kit in your trunk. You do have a safety kit in your trunk, right? When you don't have time to scrape the ice off in the morning, spray this mix generously on the front and back windows and anywhere else on the windows that you might need, and wait for just a few minutes for it to sink in. And be careful to avoid getting it on your car's paint, as that can cause your paint to fade some over time. And that is all. Until next time, better be prepared.